Okay, so so the central question is, how can electromagnetic fields impact our biology and medicine, for better or for worse? These are usually abbreviated EMFs in English. So these EMFs are composed of low energy photons. That is, the individual photons that make them up have very low energy. And in fact, they're such low energy that they cannot influence the chemistry of our bodies. So then the question is, how can they influence our biology? And so how can they produce what are called non-thermal effects? That is, effects that occur independent of any heating and only at very, very low levels of heating. The safety standards, and that's true both for U.S. and international safety standards all over the world, assume that they cannot produce anything other than heating, that only thermal effects need to be considered, and that there cannot be biological effects independent of those thermal effects. But there are literally thousands of papers in the scientific literature reporting biological effects at exposures well within safety standards, which should not occur if the safety standards are correct. So how can we understand these? Well, let me just say, first of all, there are other types of evidence which also argue against heating as the primary mechanism. And it's been known, for example, that pulsed electromagnetic fields are often much more biologically active than non-pulse fields, even when they produce the same amount of heating or even less heating than the non-pulse fields. So again, that argues compellingly against heating or the thermal effects as being the primary mechanisms, okay? And so, so how then do we solve this great puzzle? How can these things work to influence our biology? And when the energy per photon is too low to affect the chemistry of our bodies. And so what I found, and this was based on evidence in the literature, was that these EMFs activate these voltage-gated calcium channels. These are channels which are blocked by calcium channel blockers, okay? So the key piece of evidence, which is discussed here, is that you can block all the effects in these studies by using calcium channel blockers, and that tells you that the entire mechanisms work by activating these voltage-gated calcium channels, okay?